Good morning. Good morning, Facebook family and friends. This is Saturday morning with Dr. Mama Rosie Thompson, and today is November the 30th. November the 30th. Man, we're almost done with this month and getting ready to go to the month of December. We are still holding authentic. Amen. I want to thank each and every one of you who take time out of your day to come and be live with me. I really appreciate those of you who will watch this video later on Facebook or YouTube. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you taking the time to be with me. We're going through the holidays. We're talking about when the holidays are hard. We're talking about when the holidays are hard. Hopefully, Thanksgiving is over. Hopefully, something was said that help you to even think differently as you went to Thanksgiving dinner with family, spent time with family. We're just so thankful to have family that we can spend time with. So hopefully something was said, done that you enjoy, helped you to enjoy the holiday, and and be with your family. That's really what it's all about. We're going to continue to talk about this, and we're going to continue to go through the holidays together. Earlier today, I was thinking that we may not do anything after the day until after that New Year, but that changed like right away. So we'll continue to do these on Saturday morning, even through the Christmas, and all the way through. Well, we're going to continue until we're done. How's that? If that's okay with you. As I said, today we continue going through the holidays together and addressing things that would limit our ability to enjoy the season. We want to not just the day, but the entire holiday season. I was thinking a few moments ago about how oftentimes we have lose loved ones, and um, some of us, may not have a big family, but the person that you were closest to in the family has gone on, they passed away, and now you're feeling like, that they're gone, and there's a void inside of you. And if we can look at it that way, it is that way. It's true. I'm not, please, don't think I'm trying to minimize anything that you feel, anything that you're going through. We're just looking for ways to, what do I do in this situation? I can't change how I feel, but what can I do? And oftentimes there are things that we can do to help our day to be better. So I was thinking about how sometimes when that person who we were closest to is gone, but now their passing is not the opportunity, but life itself to give us an opportunity to become close to somebody else. It gives us an opportunity to get closer to a different family member, to reach out to those family members who are not right near us, and some of us have family members who are not close by us. So reach out to those family members. We have a lot of opportunities. So when we're hurting, oftentimes our mind is closed to other things that we can do, but we want to kind of start to think about some other things that we can do, so that we can enjoy this holiday season. We want to enjoy our holiday season. Last week we talked about our holiday anxiety, and we talked about this is a type of stress that occurs during the holiday season. The American Psychological Association, last year they reported that 49% of adults experience holiday trauma. Holiday anxiety. It's normal to have some type of anxiety because of things are coming up and you got so much to do. Some people are still working. They had to go to work Wednesday. They had to go back to work Friday. So sometimes it's a lot. I got to cook and I want to get this done. And in our mind, we want it to be the perfect holiday. So that's anxiety in and of itself. But there's a high holiday anxiety in 49% of the people around this time of the year. Family gatherings, we have these visions of togetherness, of harmony. We want everything to go right. Remember what I said last week. If you had a conflict with a family member in July, getting together at Thanksgiving dinner doesn't necessarily make it different. That conflict may still be there. So these unresolved family concerns and issues, we come together and we want things to be better. We want things to be better, but unless we resolve those issues, they may not be. So don't try to make your holiday. We said don't try to make it perfect. No family in this world is perfect. If you had more money, if you had the bigger house, if you had a different family, no family is perfect. And so we want to say that we want to also set some realistic goals in our when we get ready for the holidays. Make sure that our goals are realistic. Be mindful, be mindful of potential challenges, and focus on what truly matters when you're doing things for the holidays, especially if you're going out of town. Think about it, a lot of people that maybe were home for Thanksgiving, now they're talking about traveling to be with family. Make real expectations, realistic expectations. Sometimes I have family in Big Rapids, Michigan, and I know that I'm welcome at all of their houses. But usually when I go to Michigan, I always get a hotel. So because I want to be in a neutral area. If this one doesn't want to talk to that one, that's fine because they can still see me in this neutral area. So that's just my one of my preferences. Think about those things that would make it better for you. And it helps me too because if I'm at someone's house and when I want my downtime, when I need to be by myself and my downtime, I can go back to my hotel room and have that time that I need. Always plan in advance. This will help you in so many ways. If you start planning in advance, you don't have all of that anxiety coming at you at the same time. They talk about me a lot of times, but they used to. My kids are doing the same thing now. We're talking about having a party for me, not 2025 but 2026, and so we're already working on 2026. So when the birthday, if we decide, if we go ahead and have this party for me in 2026, it won't be all the stress of trying to get it done the last few months before my birthday. So things like that, when we plan ahead, we get better deals if we're traveling. And if you start to paying ahead, that's one of the things we that I learned in when I started doing learning finances. If you plan a trip to go someplace and you start a way ahead of time, the financial burden is not as heavy when time to go. And we want to also, I'm just going to mention this part, it has nothing to do with what we plan to talk about today, but we want to always make sure that we're spending wisely. We want to make sure that we have some money put aside because for unexpected things. Anything can, we don't know what this world holds. We don't know what's going to come about. We don't know what's going to happen. We don't know if you planning this and you got your monies together to go on vacation and your refrigerator goes out. You don't know if something happens to a loved one and you need to go out of town. We want to make sure that we're not overspending so that we don't have something put aside for things that may come about. If it doesn't, praise the Lord, but if it does, you're prepared in that sense. That's one thing that you don't have to, that's not added to the worry of the holidays. If you're deciding to travel, discuss it with the family. Talk about priorities. Make sure you guys are on the same page. I'm really good at planning things in my head and nobody else know about it. So we don't want to plan things that I had that no one else know about it or no one else is on board with. We want to make sure the family is on board with. We want to make sure those people who are involved are not left out of the planning phase. Want to be flexible. Being flexible is so important during this time. Maybe you plan to put your tree up on your Christmas tree up today and something else come up. Don't let it into all of your plans for today. If it doesn't happen today, it can happen tomorrow. Try to be a little bit more flexible because sometimes unexpected things happen. And as I said, when you're trying to, plan something, pay attention to your budget. Set your budget. This is what I plan to spend. Stick to your budget. Then stick to it. Sometimes that mean that you have to change something in the menu or change the gift type. Or talk about that with your family members. If you're gonna buy gifts for all your grandbabies, you're gonna buy gifts for all of your children. Talk about that, especially if you're dealing with some type of financial hardship. Then talk about it. Maybe there are some better ways that you can give gifts without it being that such a burden to you. Maybe you could just pull a name or pull two names, and then if you do, it's a good idea to let people write down what they want. That way you're giving them, they don't know exactly what you're getting them, but they know what they want, and you're buying something from that want list, and it gives a gift to them that they really want. Always, as I said, communicate. This is a family. This is a season rather for families to be together. It's a season for families to enjoy each other. Let that be the focus. Let that be the main thing. And then we talked last week. We also said that for those of us who have had traumatic experiences in our life, we want to be aware of our triggers. We want to be aware because studies for this one shows, even though we said that 49% of the people, adults rather, will experience some type of holiday anxiety. If you've had some traumatic events in your life that you're thinking about, that number, studies show that approximately 64% of people experience this holiday anxiety, traumatic holiday anxiety. because we've gone through trauma. So we want to be aware of those triggers. These triggers can be anything. They can be the sound and smell. My mom died on Christmas. My dad died on Thanksgiving Day, right before Thanksgiving. This is the first coming up. We even go into the future. Coming in 2025 will be the first year I had without my loved one, without my child, without my mom, without my dad. You know, when I don't have a job now, this is happening in my life. Be aware of those triggers, those things that will remind you of that. It can be anything. It can be sound, smell. It can be people who are around you. Songs. This is my mom and dad's favorite song. It can be the decorations, the environment that make you feel uncomfortable. Anything that making you feel uncomfortable, be aware. The holidays are known for certain smells. You know that the holidays are known for decoration, for song. So it's important that we identify those trauma triggers that may occur during this season. We want to pay attention to those triggers. When you recognize a trigger, you can pause. It's always a good idea to pause and choose how we want to respond. If you're feeling something, we're going to talk about that today. If you're feeling something and somebody else doesn't think you should be feeling that way, or how long are you going to keep doing this, whatever it is, try and pause before you respond. Try and pause to think about, how do I want to respond to this? If I want to respond to this, set your boundaries. It's okay to decline invitations or leave early if you need to. If it begins to bother you and it begins to affect you, it's okay. And and sometimes your family won't understand you doing that, but you do that. You have to do that. You do it. You do it for you. And if you want to explain, if you feel like you want to talk about it with them later or whenever, you can. But it's up. This is your life, and you want to be okay. Just as you want them to be okay, you want to be okay. You also don't want to put a strain on anyone else's holiday because you're feeling down about something. You don't want to do that. There are some ways that we can do. We can even bring those things, those feelings into the holiday season without them bringing everybody down. We're going to talk about some things we can do when we've lost a loved one and that loved one is not here with us for this holiday. How are we going to get through it? We're going to talk about some things that we can do to not to exclude that feeling, not to exclude them out of our lives. They don't have to be. The memories don't have to be excluded. We can always create new traditions. Do something different. But always practice self-care and always be kind to yourself. Care for yourself. Be kind to yourself. We talked about reducing stimulants. We want to make sure that we reduce those stimulants. So like alcohol and coffee, these can increase the symptoms that trauma survivors have. Those trauma-related symptoms. Alcohol, coffee will sometimes increase that. Be mindful if you're going to have that glass of wine, if you're going to drink that caffeine coffee, be mindful of that. Make this a happy time. Accept the fact, as I said, that perfection is rarely ever achieved. It doesn't matter how much you put into it. Perfection is rarely ever achieved. Put your energy into the things that matter the most. Learn to say no. It's okay. If anyone cannot accept my no, don't look for my yes. Because we have a right and allow other people, when we say accept my no, we accept your no. We accept your no without explanation. Accept ours without explanation. Take time for yourself. Let it go. Anything. It's the rare person whose family is picture perfect. We don't get along. We disagree with things. We don't have to not love each other because we disagree. We don't have to stop speaking to each other because we disagree. We can disagree. Let it go. Don't let that poor behavior of anybody ruin your holiday. Talk about it. Ruin your whole season. Talk about it if you can. If you can't, still take care of yourself. If you can't, let it go. Don't hold that stuff in you or against anybody. Don't allow that to affect you to a point that you don't enjoy your holidays. If the holidays are hard for you, accept that fact. The holidays are hard. Don't try and make yourself feel quote unquote normal. Don't try. The holidays are hard for me. This is the time I think about what my mom did. This is the time I think about what my son would be doing. This is the time I miss the most. That's a fact. Accept the fact. Honor your feelings. Allow yourself to grieve openly. If you need to cry, cry. Don't feel pressured to suppress your emotions, and don't try to force yourself to celebrate like you did before your loss. You don't have to. You do not have to. Allow yourself to feel your joy. Allow yourself to feel sadness. Allow yourself to get angry. Allow yourself to grieve. It's important to recognize that every family member has his or her own unique grief experience. It could be my mom. My mom is the mother of 16 children. Each one of us have our own unique grief experience. I may cry during the holidays. Somebody else may do something else. Whatever it is, you know how trauma does. We fight, we fight, we run, we freeze, or we give in. Some people may give in. Some people may fight. Some may run. All different things, different ways that we deal with grief. You may not deal with your grief the way I deal with my grief. We don't have to explain. This is what you do. This is what you need. It's important to recognize every family member has his or her own unique grief experience. I'm, let's try and stop trying to make everybody else do and be like we are. Please look around and see. Think about you. I know we think we're wonderful, and we really are. But the world would not be as wonderful as it is if we got rid of all the diversity and all the wonderful things that people bring. We don't want a lot of little roses running around here. I wouldn't want to be around you guys if all of you guys were a lot of little roses. Respect it, even if you don't understand somebody's own experiences. Respect the fact that it's theirs. No one has a right or wrong. No one is right or wrong. No one way is right. No one way is wrong. Your way of doing what you need is right for you. My way of doing what I need is right for me. Experiencing joy and laughter during this time of grief does not mean that you forgot about your loved one. So allow yourself. If something is good, don't allow yourself to feel that. Try not to make you feel like that you've forgotten your loved one. I remember my cousin rather, passed away, and I was working at this barbecue house, and the barbecue house, I forgot where it was, but it was on the south side of Chicago. So I was working at this barbecue house, and at the barbecue house, in the barbecue house right next door was a bar. And so there was a window when people would knock on the window and place orders, and we could pass them through the window without going out. And we got a call that day. I think my brother and I was working there. We got a call that day that my cousin had gotten killed. And I was so upset because the people next door were enjoying themselves. They were laughing, and I could not get ready for it. I had to leave. How can they be laughing when he just got killed? They didn't even know him. See, we have to be mindful because our emotions will do a lot of weird things to us. They take us to places. Those people didn't know that my cousin got killed. They didn't know how much my cousin meant to me. That was my experience. So we own our own experiences. And be it, even if they had said something that was funny to me, if I had laughed, it didn't mean that I had forgotten about him. It didn't mean that I didn't love him. We don't want to ignore our emotions. Suppressing your grief can make it harder to cope with it in the long run. So if you're grieving and you feeling hurt, you're feeling sad, go ahead. That's what you feel. Allow yourself to do that. So if you have lost someone, it's one of the things that we can do. We can share the memories of them. I love doing that. We can share the memory. Talk about your loved one with other people. Share the stories. Find ways to keep their memories alive. Memories are great things. And they can sometimes be a source of comfort to us when we've lost someone. You know what I do? I have a couple of pieces of jewelry. I have a gold watch. I have earrings and a necklace, and they're all gold. And I bought them. My mom, when I got to my mom's house, other people had bought, taken things. So I didn't get any jewelry or anything like that. So I bought it. I bought it myself, and I bought it in the name of in honor of my mom. So sometimes when I need to be close to her, I'll wear it. If I go someplace that I know she'll be proud of me doing stuff, like when I was inducted into the Hall of Fame at Robert Morris University, and when I was inducted into the Hall of Fame, I wore that because I wanted my mama to be a part of that. I know she's no longer here, but I still wanted to do it that way. And when I go out of town on vacation, when I go someplace by myself and I have a really cool vacation, something that I would have never done and that she would have never known me to do, I share that with her by wearing it. Sometimes when I'm feeling missing her a lot, I'll put that on. I'll take her with me to meet new people, people that I have never met before. You know, Mama, take you with me today. And that's just my way of sharing and keeping her memory alive and the things that she did. So we can share those memories. We can share what she did. When I got my book, no, not I got my book. When I launched my memoir, I put the memory. I put her picture in the living room at the door. She got this big. I got this big thing that Dr. Whitehead gave me, and it has an article in there about her. They called her Mother Teresa of Uptown. They said meet Mother Simmons, and it's a big article. So I had it. She had it enlarged, and I put it at the door so people could read about my mama. This is where I come from. So I keep her memories alive that way. I do things like that. We don't. It's okay to do things. Okay to talk about your loved one. You can share stories when you get there. Well, I'm not going to get ahead of myself. Be flexible with your plans. Like I said, adjust your holiday schedule as needed. Don't feel obligated to participate in every family activity if it's overwhelming to you. You don't have to participate in everything. We don't want to isolate ourselves, but we also don't have to go further than we are able to, than we feel that we're able to. And consider how you want to approach the holidays. Think about all of this stuff. Where do you want to be? What activities do you think you could manage? Well, if we can do this and this would be okay with me. Think about it. And if you find yourself coming up with something that you think you'll be okay with and you're not okay with it, it's okay. If your feelings are not okay with it, just be okay. That's the word I think I want to say. Be okay. Be okay in whatever state, however you need to be okay. Whatever you need to do to be okay. Be okay. Okay. And then we know this, that like I said about alcohol and coffee, using these substances to cope with grief can be detrimental. Using alcohol to get over it and bury ourselves where we just want to dull the pain, that's not good for us either. That's not the best way to do it. That is not the best way. Like I said, when you drink this alcohol and stuff, sometimes these emotions come flooding back in ways that we are not, and when we are not in total control of ourselves, we're not able to manage it the way that we want to or the way that we should. So be mindful of that. Remember that sometimes the anticipation itself of a holiday can be more difficult than the holiday itself. Just thinking about it and going ahead of ourselves and thinking about these things, like and Mama used to cook the ham every Christmas. Now who's gonna cook it this year? Just thinking about that stuff. We don't have to. We can either choose to. We can talk. We can talk about it. I should get to that part. But Mom used to cook the ham. Who's gonna do it this year? I don't have the energy to the desire to shop. I don't have the energy to decorate. I don't have the energy to do this in this Christmas. I just want to. One of the young ladies said, I just want to bypass it. It's still gonna come. It's gonna be Christmas. And think about it. Think about what you're doing. Think about it. You don't want to isolate yourself. Think about other ways that you can still enjoy. Look for things that you enjoy. Okay, Christmas, this holiday season, Thanksgiving and Christmas, November, December, January, maybe, even part of January. These are the 3 months, let's say, out of the year. What do you do for the other 9 months that you find joy in? Bring those into your holiday. Bring those things into it. Some people say, I just want to erase it. I feel too empty without this loved one in my life. So we're feeling this in our life. Look for other ways. Despite the temptation, and it can be tempting, try to avoid canceling the holiday. It's okay to avoid some circumstances that you feel like you're not ready to handle, but don't isolate yourself. Make some time for solitude, remembering. Make some time for grieving, but balance it with some activities that you're playing. Plan some activities too. Don't just make it all about the grieving. Do some fun stuff too. Do some fun things, even if you cry later. Find some time to be with family. Find some time for social activities. Find some time for those of us who live alone. And we have family, but I live alone. So I look for activities in my neighborhood and things that I can go to, and I'll go by myself. And like last year, I went to the carriage ride. It was drizzling a little bit, but I went anyway. We had the Christmas walk. We have a Christmas walk in my neighborhood, and so I went to the Christmas walk. I went by myself, but I met people at the Christmas walk. I did the carriage ride. People invited me to other things. You if we allow ourselves to do it, even though sometimes I don't feel like doing it, I get up anyway. There are so many things that we can do during this holiday time that would help us get through the holidays. We're gonna start. I think we're gonna start talking about this maybe next time. But we can even start that yoga class. Look for that yoga class in your neighborhood. People are doing things. There are a lot of activities going on. I have a tradition with one of my young babies that we stopped. We were last year. We got subs, so we'll probably get sub sandwiches again. But we get sub sandwiches, and we get in the car and we ride around and look at the decorations. That's a big thing. So it's an annual thing for us. We do it every year. That's awesome. That's awesome. Just to have a friend come over, we get in the car and we drive around and look at decorations, driving really slow. And it was so awesome last time because it wasn't late, but it wasn't that many cars in the neighborhoods. I guess people were shopping. So as we drove down the street, we were able to stop and talk. It was wonderful. Things like that. Look for those things. On Thanksgiving Day, my daughter and granddaughter came over to see me later and brought dinner. But earlier, no, and then when after they went home, I actually had a friend call me from L.A. She called from L.A. because she was visiting her cousin in L.A. So we did a Facebook. Not Facebook. We did we went live, whatever you call it, when you do that, where you can see each other, video chat. She called me with her cousin with her. I called her sister, and we all on the phone and laughing and talking. There are other ways, even if you don't have people who are right there with you. Don't close yourself off to friends. Don't close yourself off to people, other people in your life that want to be a part of your life. So do that type of thing. Find ways to be happy. Find ways to laugh. So we were on the phone, I don't know for how long, and then when the two in LA had to go, the other sister that was still here in Chicago said, I want to continue to talk to you, Rosie. And we stayed on the phone. We listened to some music. We sang songs. It was so much fun just to be around people. Don't cut yourself off. Don't close yourself off from enjoying the things of the holiday. Create a new tradition like I did with Becca, like we go and I look at the decoration with sub sandwich or things that accommodate your current situation. Look for new traditions or things that accommodate your current situation. Some people find comfort in honoring tradition, while others find them to be unbearable. Some people just don't want to do it the way we did when mom and dad were alive, when my son was alive. I don't want to do it this time. So look for ways to, if you find it unbearable, discuss this with your family. Talk to them. Say, I want the activities that you want to include, activities that you feel that you want to exclude this year. Let's not do that this year. Let's not meet at mom's old house, because every time we go to our home, our childhood home, I feel really hurt when we go there missing mom and dad. Let's not go back there. Let's do something different. Let's go out to dinner. Talk to the family. You can always come up with things to do. I sent out a text to my family. We were going to do gingerbread houses. We were going to compete with gingerbread houses. And my little youngest grandbaby told me that we shouldn't have prizes. We should just do it because the kids may not make the best gingerbread house. And I totally agree with her. See, when we talk to each other, we can come up with things to do together. So we're still going to have the gingerbread houses. We're still going to make our gingerbread houses. We're still going to do the judging on the gingerbread house, but we're not going to give our prizes because everyone's gingerbread house. We don't want anybody to feel that they didn't win because we're all winners. Just the fact that even they take the time to do a gingerbread house makes them a winner. So we're going to find ways to do things with family that are enjoyable. And we're going to listen even to Darielle, when she's 5 years old, 6 years old. Even Darielle, the kids, allowed them to put their input. She said, Grandma, I don't think we should have prizes. I think we just should do our gingerbread houses because the kids, the grown-ups, are going to win. No, we don't want the grown-ups to just win. No, we don't want that. So we're going to have our gingerbread houses, but I'll let the family know today, those that don't hear that we won't do that. We're not going to have prizes. We're just because everyone wins. That's the way we'll do it. The fact that mom is not going to make the ham this year, talk about it. Decide what you're going to do about it. My mom is not here, and if my mom always made the ham, what are we going to do about it? Mom didn't make the ham. You cook just like Mama. You remind me so much of Mama, Pat, when you cook. So Pat, when you make the ham, let's do that kind of thing. Have the kids do things. They can write poems about their loved ones. They can read those poems after dinner. You can have and Christmas dinner. Dinner don't have to be just food, is that's it. Make plans. You can make have other things around it. We have my Avid calendar that I've been, well, it'll probably be done before Christmas, but we have Christmas puzzles that we work on. Puzzles that we work on. Find things to do with your family, not just sit down and eat and that's it. No, find things to do. Have the kids write poems about their loved one. They can pull a name and write a funny poem about somebody or something like that. Make sure they keep it light, and respectful, but do things like that. Include a loved one's favorite dish. We having this loved one's favorite dish, and this is something Mama used to make. I really enjoy that. We talk a lot. I talk a lot with friends about cooking, and and some of my friends don't still don't cook, don't like cooking. It's not all because they'll say to me, "Well, you love cooking." It's not only that I enjoy cooking. That's not the only reason I do it. I cook for a lot of reasons. I cook the way that I cook because a lot of it, that's what my mom did. She was my heart, everything. She was everything to me. So a lot of the dishes I like to make, dishes that my mom made. Before my sister died, we were all on the phone with my sister, and I was teasing them, her kids, because she's the mother of nine. I was teasing them. I said, "Yeah, y'all better try to get your mom recipe, because if you ever need to get it from me, you're gonna have to pay." I didn't think my sister would be gone. That wasn't the thought. But I wrote down her recipes, things that we used to make. Butter rolls and I mean she was a cook in the family, so I wrote down some of her recipes. And the kid tea cakes, the kids call me and say, Auntie Rose, will you send me my mom's recipe? And we can they're missing their mom, they want their mom's recipe, but now we can laugh, we can laugh about, "I told you you're gonna pay for it. Alisa told you." That's my sister Alisa. She told you if you get it you're gonna have to pay for it, so we can find something to smile about at a time when we're hurting. We can find things in our life to smile about. And we do have, I think we have a couple of comments. We're going to see what they are, and then we're going to come back and continue to talk about this. And then maybe just hello. Hi, Sister Pooh. Good morning, Paulette. Good morning, beautiful. Don't forget your name ain't on the front of that building, but one day it may be on the front of a building. We expect great things. And man, we thank you both. Thank you for your comment. There's no right or wrong way to celebrate the holidays, especially after trauma. There's no right or wrong way to celebrate the holidays anyway. You can do whatever you want. That's the songwriter, Paulette the singer. You can do whatever you want. There is no right or wrong way. Don't get stuck in these things that this has to be done this way. This has to be done this way. And not understand. And you don't have to understand when somebody else does it a different way. Respect the fact that they choose to. We never know why people do the things they do. We never know why they do the things they do. Just respect the fact that that's what they do. That's it. There is no right way to celebrate the holiday season. There is no wrong way to celebrate the holiday season. The only right way for me is the way that I choose. The only wrong way for me is the way that somebody else would try to push me into doing it. And let that be the same for you. Your holiday, it may be Christmas for the world, but it's your Christmas, not for the world, but it's your Christmas. This is your day. We have Right now, we as we coming up to Christmas, we have three weekends before Christmas. Today, many people would have put up decorations and putting up decorations. We can even make all of this. Sometimes we put them up, we want to get it all up, and we seem to be like kind of rushed because I got to do this to do it, this to do. If we just take a step back sometime, we can make all of this stuff fun. We can get the family involved in anything we do, and we can make stuff, and we can make things optional. We don't have to get, if the tree is not up to date, if it bothers you that your tree need to be up to date, you do what you need to do. But it's a good time if you haven't finished your decoration to make ornaments, to decorate together. Do something memorable. Don't just let Christmas Day be the only memorable part of Christmas for you. You can enjoy the holiday season. If you got family, or you got children, or you got anybody there with you, let them make cornbread pizza. You may not want cornbread pizza. I love cornbread pizza, and it's just cornbread crust with your favorite pizza topping. And when I did cornbread pizza with the grandkids, we did the cornbread crust, and they topped their own pizza. So everybody had their own little small pan, and they made their own pizza. Things like that, the little things that they can do. Serve snacks and drinks when you decorate. We got cookies or we got hot chocolate, whatever you're doing together. Play some Christmas music. Let them sing along. Let them dance. Make it a fun time. Don't make decorating for Christmas work. Take the work out of the things that you do. Make them things enjoyable. This is a good week to spend time with your family after you finish your decorations. It's a good time maybe to start talking to your family about gift giving. You can set up a Zoom call with your family and tell them it's a hot chocolate Zoom call or whatever you want to have, and we're gonna all come together with our mugs, our coffee, our tea, our hot chocolate, and let's talk about gift giving. How do we want to do it this year? Are we all coming together? Who can't come? Is there anything we can do to help you come? If you can't come, one thing we did one year was we wanted to have a reunion, but we have people in so many different states, and people couldn't come. So we did a virtual reunion. We all came up with the same T-shirts on the same day, and the family who could come to our houses, whichever house they could get to. We had a virtual family reunion, and we called it Ali Mae People Day because my mom is Ali Mae. Ali Mae's People Day. And it happened in Memphis, it happened in Michigan, it happened in Chicago. I don't even know where, but people came together. We were separate, but we were together. Look for ways to be together with family members, even if they are not close by you. And if you don't have family who are close by you, you have friends, you have neighbors. There's somebody. Open our hearts and stuff that we can meet people, that we can get to know people, so that we're not doing things alone. So we don't have this feeling of isolation. We don't have this feeling of being alone. We can do something about it. Let's try and do something about it. And then for the next, we plan those activities. You can even start to think about, okay, we got 3 weeks, 3 weekends before Christmas. What are we gonna do? You can choose one day out of each of those weeks, or choose a day to do something together. We watched um, Home Alone. That's our movie. One reason because we watch Home Alone every Christmas. But there's Wicked is out. There's a movie out. There's always some Christmas movie out. One Red One is out. We went to see that. But we can do something together, like have a movie night. If you can do a holiday movie night on next Saturday, on the 7th, if you like. And if you do have a holiday movie night, if you go to the movie with your family, you can call back. You can have a meet up after that to talk about it together. Did you see it? What do you think? Whatever you want to do, but find ways. Look for ways. Be creative and find things that you can do to make your day good. And like I said, on the 14th, I don't know what day exactly Beck and I go, but drive to see the decorations. Make that a thing. Get in the car, go and look at the Christmas decorations and stuff in the city, around your neighborhood and stuff, and come back home to something. You don't always have to make that big dinner. Come back home to pizza and soda, whatever you want to have. And you can also bake cookies. As we're doing, we're building the gingerbread houses. And you can also do a distance exchange with family and friends. Let's say if you bake cookies, then you can send little care packages to your family. You can send little care packages to your friends. You can do some and pass them out into your neighbors. You can do some things that'll give you to keep you not to keep you busy where you're not thinking about the things that you're going through, because we don't want to do that. We take time for ourselves, but it'll help you. It puts you in a different feeling. Put on some music. Listen to some Christmas music or whatever music you like. Some whatever worship, whatever type you like. Take advantage of social media to connect with your family. Take advantage of it. Maybe you can't get there. Maybe you want to be there, but you can't be there. But take advantage. Social media is a way to connect with family, to be around people, not to be alone, to be around the people that you care about. And I also want to say, if we got family members who are coming home for the holidays from prison, and those people, be mindful of that too. We all feel different about certain things. We all do. Allow, when people are coming home from an extended stay in prison, allow them to say what they need. We may think that big party or this big thing is good for everybody, but what I think is good for everybody is not right. It's not my right way of thinking. What I know is what I think is, I can only think what's good for me, and I have to allow you to tell me what's good for you. and we have to respect that. So talk about those things. Talk about those things. Some people are coming out, and I like I said, I met this young man who's been out for a while, and he's still struggling for years. And people who come out and they're still struggling because in their mind and they're thinking while they're in there, oh, when I come out, this is going to be and this is going to be, but they come out into a whole new world, especially those who have been there 10, 20, 30 years. They have never seen this world that they're coming back to. Some have lost parents when they were in there. They were not there for that. Now they're coming home with mom's gone, dad's gone, brother, sister, family gone. Their friends were one way when they left. Now they come back and the friends have all dispersed. So they're coming back into a whole new world, a whole new world of doing things. Some of them never seen social media, know nothing about it, only what they've heard on their phone when we talk to them. They don't know what it's like to use social media. They don't know what it's like to have a Zoom call. They don't know this stuff, and we're trying to push everything onto them at one time. Allow people to be who they are and to do what they need to do to be okay. Let them decide. We don't want to decide. Let them decide. If the holidays get to a place for you that you're just struggling, if you're struggling, 988 is the crisis hotline, crisis lifeline. It's not just the suicide line, but it's the crisis lifeline. It's for suicide prevention, and it's for any mental health crisis that you may be facing. It's 988, and this is the lifeline. Just 988. You dial 988. You don't have to remember these other numbers that I have for you, but that one, 988, is a crisis hotline, a lifeline. If you need to talk to someone, whatever you're feeling, even the stress of the holidays, I'm just feeling this way, I lost my, if you just need to talk to somebody, they have people right there who are willing, who are ready to talk to you, 988. Then there's a National Alliance for Mental Illness, and that's 1-800-950 NAMI, which is National Alliance for Mental Illness, NAMI. So 800-950 NAMI. And they provide information, referrals, and they support families who are dealing with mental health conditioning, including holiday-related stress. They'll help you through the holidays. There's always somebody. You're never alone. There's always some help someplace. We just have to seek that help. We don't sit here and be in this place and not look for help. Look for help. Call me, text me, send me a message if you need to, if I can say or do anything. Let's do that. So let's help each other. As we go through these things and we're dealing with what we are dealing with, maybe we can help somebody else. And sometimes just by helping somebody else, it helps us to get through things. Then there's also this called the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Service Administration. That's another place. They offer treatment and referrals related to mental health and substance abuse disorders. So it's SAMHSA, Substance Abuse and Mental Health Service Administration. They have a hotline too. That one is 800-662-HELP. 800-662-HELP. And then we can text, if we text the word, if you need to text and you don't feel like talking, just need a text. If you text the word home to the crisis line, 741-741, that's the crisis line, 741-741. If you send a text, a crisis counselor will get it and respond within minutes. And then that counselor will help you to de-escalate whatever situation you're in and connect you with some help that's local to you, that's close to you. Then you text to 741-741 the word home. Remember, the crisis lifeline is 988. Another thing about the crisis line, the trained counselor for the crisis line, if you're interested in being a counselor, and being a trained counselor, they offer free training. And then you can help somebody to do it too. If you're having a lot of times where you're finding yourself just sitting around and you're thinking about stuff and watching TV, the television can be depressing. It can give you some movies that you may like and you may laugh, but it can also be depressing. The news, the things that you're looking at, so much happening. And I was talking to a young lady last night. She called last night, and then she started talking about. And she started out saying that about how bad things are, and I said, "What's bad?" That's what we need to do to ourselves. All this stuff happened. I said, what stuff? What stuff happening? Now tell me what's good happening. Let's talk. And she's like, you always do that. Yeah, because you can get stuck there. You can get to that place What's bad is all you see. And we don't want to get stuck that what's bad is all I see. Because the truth is, in my mind, my truth, I don't want to say it's your truth because it may not be. But my truth, there's a whole lot more good than it is bad. A lot good. I wasn't always in this mindset. I wasn't always in this place. And that's one of the reasons I share, because I wasn't always in this place, but I am really in this place. My life is good. The good old days people want to talk about, these are my good old days. We can have those days today. We can enjoy our life today. We can have that abundant life. We can enjoy the holiday season. We can have a good time, even with all the other things that happen. Even with those things that happen, there's so much more in our life than the bad things that we see. There's so much more than what we say on television and the news that this is bad. You know, they make it so it's interesting to you. They try to make it so it's interesting. You know how we going to get them 12 feet of snow? And then we get a little flurry because the snow went the other way. But if you get stuck on those 12 feet of snow, it'll cause you to do things, because our emotions affect us. When we start to seeing this stuff and thinking on this stuff, we start to react to this stuff. But we can see we're going to be fine. I always know that I'm going to be fine no matter what. And I believe that you are too. I really believe that. I'm going to go back one more time because we're going to get ready to end for today. And Dinetta said, good morning. I love it. Love you. Nothing like family together. It makes you feel so good. And to see those whom you haven't seen in a while together with family. Amen. It's really important to find things. And then when you can't do it with family, you try. Hi, Minister Delphine. Good to see you. When you can't do it with family, when you don't have family to do it with, open yourself. This world is so full of people. So full of people. You know, I have people that they don't have to be born in your family. They don't have to be the same race. They don't have to be the same nationality. We need to get rid of that. We need to eradicate those lines that divide us. Eradicate those differences that divide us, and think about all those things that makes us so much alike. I feel like today, now you know, I met Cindy and Jim this year, and Joe this year. I could go to Cindy's house for Christmas. I mean, if she's home, then I feel like I could be at home at her house. Gabby and I sit there and play while she and Jim cook. We're not working, you know. Gabby and I wouldn't doing the work, but we could sit there and play while they cook. I got so many people in my life that I could be at their house. I could be at Danetta's house. You know, I could be at so many other people's houses and be at home. We don't have to be alone. And we don't have to, even if you're having a problem with people that you know, there are other people there. Don't forget that 988 is the lifeline, is the crisis lifeline. 988. If you need to send a text, 741-741. Text. And they will talk to you. They will help you through whatever situation you may be going through. Even to talk about the stress or whatever's bothering you, they're there to help you. And they are trained to do so. So we'll be back again on Saturday at 8 a.m. I don't know what we'll be talking about Saturday, but we will be back Saturday at 8 a.m. with Saturday Morning with Dr. Mama Rosie Thompson. I'll be back again on Friday at 8 a.m. with Friday's Word. I really appreciate, again, you all taking the time out your day to join us. We really appreciate you. Thank you so much. I pray that you have a wonderful, wonderful, not just holiday, but holiday season. And a wonderful life. I pray that we come alive in this world and just enjoy it the way that it's intended. There's so much good here that we begin to see the good way more than we see the bad. We see the bad, we acknowledge the bad, it's real, but we also see the good. We don't want to dismiss the good because there is some bad. He said, what it say, the light, darkness cannot comprehend light. You can go into a room and if it's dark and our life is dark, if you turn some light on, you're going to be able to see, and that darkness will not overpower it. Those things in our lives that are dark, those things in our lives that are hurtful, if we put some light in there, if we put some joy in there, it cannot comprehend it. It cannot overshadow it. That darkness will never be able to. Our affirmations of today: I accept myself as I am. My feelings do not define me. It's okay to be the way that I am. I take full ownership of my life. I am not my trauma. My mistakes are not a measurement of my true ability. I'm going to say that again. My mistakes are not a measurement of my true ability. And lastly, I am always a safe place for myself. Thank you again so much for joining. You all have a very blessed day, and I will see you Saturday morning at 8 a.m. Have a great day, everybody. Goodbye.